TPCSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app.
2,000 years long, we will never settle. Hard days, no way, with a heavy metal. No time, no fail, won't stop here. Like a torch to a flame when it burns hot. We won't stop, come on, take me higher.
From the ECSI Sports Studios and the #1 sports investors in America, we bring you the closing bell. As the market closes, legends Jeff Dawson and Riley Magnuson bring you all the sports investing tips for tonight's matchups. If you want to learn more from the two legends at the desk, make sure you stay tuned to the closing bell.
Whoa, there we go. Batman. How about this? There we go. Good evening, sports fans from all across the land. I am the co-host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and it's that time of the day for the closing bell. The last Monday of August, August 26, 2024. I want to say a historical day here in our 9 3/4 year of existence. We debuted a show this morning. Again, still the Breakfast Bankroll, but a spinoff. Cornflakes and Crack with the infamous, famous Mr. Billy Krakenberg, live from Vegas. And then what we did from there is we brought two more good friends, colleagues, guests, family members, Mr. Andrew McGinnis and Mr. Scotty Webb, who will be here on this channel at 6:15 p.m. for In the Batter's Box. But what we want to do is, our goal by the time we get through the fall is to have a headliner, a guest, Monday through Friday in that 10, 11 a.m. hour. It's a little tough because Billy was live in Vegas, so 10:30 is 7:30 there. So we can't go 9 a.m. Eastern because it'd be 6 a.m. there. But our goal, again, is to have a headliner and 1 to 2 premium guests coming on, talking CFL, talking college football, talking MLB, whatever the hot topic is. Could be Julian Edlow from DraftKings. Hell, could be CT Bets from Viva. We'll see. So first, a proud announcement and sponsorship from WagerWire. Reached out to Travis and Zach. We'll be circling back the wagons and getting ready for at least another 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. God, we're going to be with them forever. So if you haven't downloaded the app, please head on over to Google Play or wherever you download the apps. It's free. And then from there, I promise you, myself, Travis, Zach, Amber, Jay, the rest of this team and community will take good care of you. Shout out to Viva Tequila Seltzer. If you have not tried them, please, come on, guys. Head on over to your local watering hole or wherever you go watch those games. It's Viva. Tell them JD from ECSI sent you, and I promise they'll take good care of you there. And our new proud sponsor, Atlanta Steaks and Seafood. Terry Smith, live from Atlanta, will be on this week talking some Georgia Bulldogs, some Atlanta Braves. But I promise you, you've heard of Omaha Steaks. Well, if you haven't heard of Atlanta Steaks and Seafood, shame on you. It's not just as good as Omaha. It's better. Trust me on that. And I promise you, the best customer service in the land. So without further ado, let's bring in my co-host, Mr. Southside Riley, otherwise known as Spidey, Riley Magnuson. What's up, champ?
What is up, my friend? I am. You had it there. Yeah. Southside righty, Spidey, same thing. It's all good, my man. So, uh, I'm very good, ready to rock and roll. As I always say, we are a few days closer since we've last talked to some more and more football here. We obviously had some over the weekend that was a little more entertaining than I think a lot of people thought it was going to be. As far as close games are concerned, obviously some sloppy play always early in the year, no matter what. But nonetheless, good golf, exciting golf for the weekend, exciting football over the weekend. We're getting that much closer to the fall, my friend.
Yeah, a little downer on Sunday for the golf. Good friend left Vegas with Oberg 22-1, and he got back home and he was all giddy for Sunday. And golf's that one sport. You get 4 days of action, and when you're on the lid or near the lid on Sunday, you get the warm and fuzzies and the butterflies, and you're following every shot. It reminded me of a horse race. You get all hot and bothered, you get them all lathered up, and you're right there at the turn, you're right there at the final turn, and then they just didn't fire. Oberg did it. I'm telling you, since the Masters, when he came out and shocked the world, he was right there with Scotty and Colin until 10, and he put it in the drink. But he showed all the shots, the form, the new kid, the new star on the horizon. Then he tweaks the knee. He hasn't been able to close since, Riley.
No, I know, and I'm just trying to pull up his results log, and he was obviously real close a handful of weeks in a row, in March, April, May, and to your point, yeah, it was a little bit of a lapse there for a little bit, and the crazy thing is, after all of that, he's still fifth place in the FedEx Cup standings, 5 shots back of Scotty Scheffler going into the weekend, this upcoming weekend for the Tour Championship. So, if all else fails, and we get a big winner out of him this weekend, it's not crazy to think that a good first couple of days to put himself in a little bit better position. Cut into that lead the first couple of days. I mean, we could be talking about him as the Tour champ. Not quite the same as Hovland last year, because obviously Victor had to win a late tournament or two to get himself into that position, but. Only 5 shots back. Not crazy to think that Ludwig can go and win this thing this weekend.
Staying on golf, Hideki plays, I think it was the first round, then steps away with back issues. Again, teases us with the bronze medal in the Olympics, and then steals the first week of the challenge. If you had to back him, would you be more nervous, or was that precautionary, knowing where, again, a great showing this past weekend. He could have leapfrogged Xander and only started 2 shots back. More concerned, or it was a strategic move on his part and you have no problem backing him this week?
No, I have no problem backing him. I think he is in great position. A lot of these guys, I mean, we talked about Scotty as far as obviously he's still the number 1 in the world. He is the best player in the world, but has not been, don't need to beat a dead horse, but hasn't been as dominant as he was the first half of the season on this golf season. So obviously still very good. He could win this thing running away. I'm not trying to say that's, I don't want to sound like a doofus if he's, if Scotty Scheffler wins the thing by 8 shots come Sunday afternoon, but the point is, I mean, sitting here with a 2-shot lead for the number 1 golfer in the world on the season, some of the lines that he's had all season long, and he's only sitting at plus 110. I'm seeing on DraftKings for Scotty Scheffler. There's a handful of guys that have a chance this weekend here. So absolutely, I'm not too concerned about what you're talking about there, and I think a lot of people have a great chance of making a run at this thing if they have the right weekend here this weekend.
Stuck in a draft last night, Riley, and I start off beautifully with Breece Hall. I take Cooper Kupp, and then I kind of got stuck, and I just threw Tank Dell in there, and we're going along, and now I'm square peg round hole, and I'm like, damn it, we're waiting. I got Kenneth Walker. I was very excited there. Got a nice 2-horse stable there. And then I got to play a game. I'm in the 2 spot. It goes 1 with 2 picks and then back to me. I grabbed Christian Watson like this, and I came back with Jordan Love.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you think?
I was talking to this about, I mean, I know your feelings on him as far as his health issues in the past. I think you've got one more chance for him to redeem himself as far as an injury-prone guy. Again, especially to this point in training camp, knock on wood, and preseason, haven't had any issues. So, all accounts were saying that his hamstring issues are in the past, and he's got the right treatment and he's resolved. So if that is the case, I mean, the flashes we had been seeing when he was healthiest, not just deep threat, flash in the pan, maybe he'll hit a big play. I mean, there was the healthiest points over the last couple of seasons with both Rodgers and Jordan Love. He's proven that he can open the route tree a little bit here and be more reliable in a down-to-down situations here in different types of routes other than that big play. I mean, again, still obviously a guy when you want to give him the ball for those big plays, but he can still do it in a lot of other different ways there. So I think if as long as he's not your like you said, you got a couple other guys as well early in the draft there that you can lean on if push comes to shove. But if we're talking, depending on how many teams you got, but if we're talking about in a bigger league and he's your flex, or in a 10-team league and he's your first man off the bench, I think it's still a great chance for him to have a really nice season here. The only problem, other than health, the other biggest problem is that the Packers have so many different weapons that they like. So I think if you believe in what you've seen from him when he was the healthiest, and you think he's going to be healthy this year, then you have to be a believer in Christian Watson. Is my opinion on it there. So I think you're in a good spot within there, especially you get the stack there. If he proves himself and he's right, and then you got Jordan Love throwing to him and playing well, then you got a nice little duo there, my friend.
Well, the funny thing is, I hit Watson, and the guy at one, his next pick was Romeo Dubs, so it was kind of cute.
My feelings with Romeo Dubs, he's emerged as a nice red zone threat, but still for me needs to prove a little bit more in that down to down, reliability standpoint there. So I would still take Christian Watson over Romeo Dubs right now. Jaden Reed is that kind of wild card where he was obviously a wild card last season. So depending on what his growth has been since then, that's Jaden Reed is really a wild card where I don't know what to expect. He might have some great weeks. He might end up being consistently really good. I don't know. That one is still to me a huge wild card from both fantasy and just week to week Packers season is concerned.
Well, what I am hearing through my fantasy tree, if you don't get in early on Green Bay, with Rodgers, Favre, some of the big quarterbacks, you always wanted a little piece of the tree just in case you got the right one.
Yeah.
And the name I'm hearing, if you sit and wait and want to dive in, is Wicks.
Right. If you can get him late, you don't need to be reaching. But if it's like you're, again, depending on how many teams you got, but if you're kind of wading deeper and you're looking to take a flyer on somebody, I mean, you've got probably some other people that you might know a little bit more guaranteed what they're going to give you. But Wicks has been the guy that, obviously he had the one connection in the short amount of time the starters on offense played this year. But training camp, that's been the guy that has come out and, is kind of getting those highlights, those preseason and training camp love out of the what we've seen from practice there. So, it really just depends. I mean, in the last couple of years, I mean, he's looked really good last year. It's almost like, you spent so much high draft capital, second, third round picks on these other guys, so you got to give them the opportunities. If he's going to be that guy, it's going to be because he stole it from the opportunities from these other guys. So especially where he's going right now, it's another one where, again, especially if you can't get the other guys, then not a bad spot to take Wicks as a bench spot there.
And last but not least, one of my close friends, colleagues that I've done a lot of drafting with was trying to sell me on Josh Jacobs. Now, Josh Jacobs got me good a couple years ago, and I swear to God, he played back with Marcus Allen. He's been forever, and he's still a kid. And when you burn me once in these high-stake leagues, it's hard to go back to the well. Sell me on Josh Jacobs.
I'm waiting to be sold myself, and I don't want that to sound like I'm not in on Josh Jacobs. I am a little weary on where his ADP is, if I'm being a little honest with you, and that doesn't mean I don't like him. Excuse me. That was a tough one for me because I think he could be very, very efficient. and exactly what the Packers kind of need. But I just don't know what you're going to get out of him for whether it be big play or touchdown. I really don't know. I think the one thing that you could say is maybe his touchdown numbers could be quite high because the Packers' passing game, and a lot of it is because they haven't had great red zone weapons. He might be leaned on in the red zone a little bit here. So the one thing that I would say is that his touchdown numbers might be a really nice number there where, you look back to Aaron Jones a few years ago. I don't know. Speaking of the Packers, we've got a trade on our hands, a backup quarterback trade on our hands as we're talking with the Packers, my friend. But I'll get to that in a second. But I don't think he's going to be putting up 1,300 yards, whatever it was. His one huge year with the Raiders. I think it's going to be a lot better than what we saw from him last year. Again, I don't remember what the final number was, but he's going to be in a productive offense. You've got behind him A.J. Dillon, who I think needs to come up and have a better year. Hasn't shown a ton the last couple of years. You got Marshawn Lloyd, who's banged up right now. So the opportunities, I think, are going to be there. And so I think it is a good move if you're in that, if you miss out on some of the big top 15, 20 running backs, whatever it is, and you find yourself somehow without any running backs at that point, then, Josh Jacobs is definitely one that you want to look for. But you mentioned Kenneth Walker, maybe even, if you believe in an Alvin Kamara bounce back, wait another round or two for those guys is one that, again, off the top of my head, I don't remember what the separation in ADP is for those guys, but I think those are maybe a little bit more of a sure thing. But I do think Josh Jacobs could be a really nice option, and those touchdowns it could be 10 touchdowns for him this year.
Breaking news earlier today, CeeDee Lamb gets the largest contract wide receiver in the NFL. $100 million guaranteed, $38 million signing bonus. The rich get richer. These guys just play the game, and I don't want to go to OTAs. I don't want to go to training camp. And then pop goes the weasel, signs today. Jamar Chase has been at practice the last couple days. So again, and Chase's is kind of funny. He's already got the deal. He's got a couple years left. So it's like, hey, I'm going to just be the squeaky wheel. Sometimes you get the oil. Just, hey, guys, I don't want to be CeeDee Lamb or Ayuk next year. So just remember where we're coming from. And now the big loser now is San Fran now sitting there. What do we do with the square peg round hole, the sour grapes, the kid in the corner sucking his thumb with Ayuk?
Right. And I we've talked about whether or not it's going to happen, and it's, it seems like we're getting a little too close to, if anything's going to happen, it would have to be the last couple of days here probably. So, no, I mean, CeeDee Lamb, obviously, I think it had to happen. I think it was, I don't want to say lost because he's obviously, one of the highest paid non-quarterbacks of all time. Maybe I think it's second most behind Justin Jefferson, but I was kind of expecting him to one-up Jefferson the same way we have that same cycle with quarterbacks the last few years. So I think from that standpoint, I think you would say the Cowboys might have gotten a victory out of that situation, not having to pay him a couple extra million a year over what Justin Jefferson got there. So, but yeah, and then obviously you've got Jamar Chase and some other guys that are coming up here soon. So the Bengals, I think will pony up for Jamar Chase, as barring any setbacks here. I think they'll probably wait a few weeks into the season and make sure that he's healthy and producing what he needs to produce, and whether or not we see that midseason or not. But to your point, I think he wants to be with Joe Burrow. So I'm curious to see what the leverage is on that one, because I think the Bengals know that he would like to be with Joe Burrow. Jamar Chase's camp knows that they probably don't want to part ways with him there. So a little bit of a back-and-forth leverage situation there. But I mentioned a trade. Packers getting a new backup quarterback, Malik Willis from Tennessee, going over to the Packers for a 2025 seventh-round pick. Packers not liking the Sean Clifford experience these last couple of years in preseason and backup role there. So getting more aggressive than they typically do for a backup quarterback there, my friend.
Well, he kind of fits the Jordan Love mold. And I think you can hand Malik the quarterback, the clipboard, and say, "Hey, you're not going anywhere."
Yeah.
If in a year or two we don't re-sign Jordan, well, actually he's got the contract, so you don't have to worry about that. But the fact of the matter is again fits that running style. You Packers molded Favre, they mold Rodgers, they've molded Love. Now in comes another project, and no disrespect, Malik, but you got a lot of seasoning to go.
Right. Right, and I would say they've, especially after you get some tape on guys, they do a good job with, realizing who they like. And Sean Clifford, I think they've seen enough of, and, whether or not they cut him or keep him as a third option, I don't know. But was not looking good. I know they had a better game the other day. I didn't get a chance to watch as much of the preseason game the other day. But, I think the Sean Clifford experience is over, and I'm glad with the another different option there for Malik Willis.
2 games in the MLB this afternoon. Kansas City, even with Raggins leaving with, I guess, a little hammy tightness or something, find a way to win 4-3. The Royals were a thorn again for us on Sunday. We did get the over in our parlay. Patriots crushed the dream for the moneyline parlay, of course. But Kansas City wins. Red Sox lose 4-1. And you're going to laugh at this. Both teams playing a doubleheader. There it is. The Sox were undecided who was going to start, and rumor has it that they were going to move Rich Hill in to start tonight. I guess he threw a couple innings down in Worcester earlier in the week. They have announced Zach Kelly versus Berrios. So, again, the Sox fall to 5 games out of this wild card race. And, again, I said it was a great run. My season was made when they extend Cora for 3 years. I wasn't expecting anything from here. They didn't make any big moves. They actually needed some innings out of Paxton. He's done for the year. So I'm going to go on record that Kansas City will get in. We had Scotty come in early this morning talking about he still thinks the Sox are alive. I don't think they're alive. But again, hats off to Kansas City as they keep on trucking.
Right. I mean, Kansas City and Minnesota obviously still very much alive for the wild card. So even if one of these teams falls off, you still got 3 teams out of the AL Central that are in position to be in position there. So it is a little tough sledding there. I don't know if they've got games against anyone ahead of them, maybe a couple here and there, but. They definitely had the opportunity right in front of them, and they actually might not have any. They got games with the Twins. That's really their only games with anyone who's right ahead of them there. So I'm with you. It's going to be tough for them there, and you've got Kansas City and Minnesota and playing decent ball there. So any interest out of you in those games tonight? You've got, like you said, that Red Sox Blue Jays game was going to be one that I wanted to talk with you about because you've got Zach Kelly on the mound, who's been a bullpen guy, obviously. But our guy, or in quotations, our guy, Jose Barrios on the other side there. Last 3, 1 run, and 2 runs. So coming in 3-game stretch of pitching well. I don't know if we're at that point of the hot streak for Jose Barrios or not. But at some point, the Jose Barrios regression comes. Whether it's today, next week, 2 weeks from now, I don't know, my friend.
Well, the funny, back in the day, Riley, it used to be let the first games play and then go back on the team that lost. And it just not working. The easy play would be run to Cleveland tonight. It's funny because Kansas City was minus 120. Marsh versus Allen. Now Allen's minus 142. So, again, Vegas is telling us very nicely they don't expect the Guardians to lose a doubleheader. Now, in the Red Sox case, the Red Sox were minus 165, now minus 133. I get some 9s under over at Circa, 9.5 at the Superbook at South Point DraftKings. So I go to the team totals, and the carrot for the public is the Red Sox team total over 4.5. You got to lay 25 cents. So do you want to go for them, who they stink at home? They're like 8 games under 500 at home. Do you want to lay 133 on the Red Sox to win the game? Or do you want to say, hey, we're going to get to 5 or better, and we're just going to lay minus 125? So if you like the Sox today, not to lose a doubleheader, take their team total. You only got to lay 25 cents to get to 5 or better. But the real carrot, honestly, is in the Blue Jays team total. You can get the Blue Jays to get to 5, and who the hell cares who wins? I sent this out at plus 115. We moved the market. It's now plus 110. So, Jays, team total over 4.5. And I'm going to go back to the well with a Vladdy bomb here at plus 110 on their team total. What do we got on the Vladster?
450, plus 450.
He's going to land one in Lansdowne Street. That's going to land at Straga's at the north end tonight.
There you go. I was looking for your guy Devers, only 4-1, so not really his type of number that we've been looking for all season long. It's got to be in the 200s usually to launch on a Devers homer there. So I don't know. Maybe a nice Barrios start tonight is in the cards. I don't know.
I have to say this. I was on Sports Grid 2 shows last night, 4 segments, and then when I do the later show, I always break down the ESPN game. I gave out the Astros team total over 4.5 that cashes, and then I did the home run prop and over 1.5. And we got a plus 900 on a homer last night on, I think it was Diaz. Hold on. Diaz plus 750 on the home run. And he got one for us last night. So the producer reached back and he goes, "Damn, the last 2 shows you've done for us on ESPN, you hit the home run prop. We'll see you next Sunday." And the funny thing is 2 Sundays from now, no one will be talking baseball for the next 6 months because it's football season. So it's always interesting on Sports Grid.
It is. So moving on to this other game here, Cubs and Pirates. Pirates minus 125, opened up around minus 110. Jameson Taillon for the Cubs has not been great these last few. Has had a solid season, but 3 in a row, 4 or more allowed. Mitch Keller, on the other hand, a little back and forth. Bounced back after 2 ugly ones, real ugly ones, with a 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs, no walks, 9 Ks. It was very good last time out. Are we buying the Pirates as home favorites here, or are we looking for a little Taillon bounce back start here?
Well, I'll make it easy for our listeners. If you like the Pirates, don't lay the 118, run to the window. Team total over 4.5 plus 120. So we're turning a favorite into plus money. Under over 8.5. I got this first one to 5 wins. If you like the Cubs side, you can take the plus 108, or you can take their team total to get to 4.5. So to 5 or better at plus 120. So again, you can take the Cubs tonight plus 108 to win the game, or take them to get to 5 or better at plus 120. And for the Pirates side, I would just run to the window and take them to get to 5 or better and take the plus 120.
Right. Until Taillon bounces back, I think you can exploit him a little bit there. The one that maybe is interesting, he's only got 18 on the season, but O'Neal Cruz homer plus 350. Maybe a little interesting there for me. O'Neal Cruz plus 350 tonight.
And if I read the tweet correctly, moving from short to center field tonight.
Let me see. I've got the projected lineup from ESPN has got him at DH, but I don't know if that's
okay.
I don't know if that's finalized or not. But I saw something similar. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It looks like DH for now, but maybe that's not the finalized roster there. Phillies and Astros. Phillies, the home team out of this one here. Minus 190 with Zach Wheeler on the mound. You've got Wheeler, very, very good these last 4, 2 or less in each of his last 4. Ronel Blanco for the Astros. A little bit of regression. Has been a little hit or miss for the old Stros there. But these 2 teams, obviously Astros cooled off a bit here, but minus 190 for the Phillies against this Astros team. A little wild for your liking, my friend?
Where can this number go? I mean, I had to look at it 28 times. I know back in the day, last year especially, the year before, ESPN late game, jumping a plane, whoever the team was traveling, you bet it against, and you made a fortune. Now in come this Astros team that, again, is cooking with Crisco as they get ready for September to make their playoff run. And they throw a number out like this. ECSI VIPs know where we are in this one. I would say Joe Public is all in on the Astros. I mean, you're going to give me the Astros plus 167. I don't see, Pedro on that side. I just don't get it. So I'm going to find out. My hands are right there. Everyone knows at ECSI VIP where we stand tonight. We are in on this game, and I guess we'll find out early. But again, team totals on that game. Listen to this one. Astros only 3.5 juiced under -130. So if you like the Astros to get to 4 or better, you get them at +110. Phillies 4.5 juiced under -120. Again, a flat 8 as I'm seeing across the board was 7.5. They're expecting the pitchers duel early. They got this one pegged 5-3. I like the Phillies to win this game outright. If you like the Phillies and you want to get cute, you play them minus the 1.5. You're not guaranteed the ninth inning. If you get to the ninth inning, you're going to need at least a 2-run homer, 3-run homer, or a grand slam to cash that ticket. But we'll see. But again, the numbers are so intriguing. I mean, overpriced, obviously, on the Phillies side. I think Vegas knows what's going on tonight.
I agree with you. How about a little Schwarbaum +255, my friend? Has had a little bit of a home run drought, but 3 extra base hits in the last 2 days. 2 straight multi-hit days, just no bombs. So, I mean, maybe I'm crazy with a couple bombs out of that man tonight, but we'll play it safe with 1 in the 255.
I love where your eyes are. I'll go Schwarber bomb first inning. We'll double down on you. We're going to start the game with that. And then I guess I'll have to piggyback. What is Mr. Harper?
330. So not quite as significant, but still 330. Not bad at all.
I'll take the Harper, and I'll give you the Schwarber. How's that?
Yeah, that works for me. That one, somebody's going to be hitting a bomb in the first, maybe in the first inning. Someone's hitting a bomb, and I'll go. I like the Schwarbo in the first inning there. So. Let's see here. Moving on, Atlanta and the Twins, another series that is obviously not clashing with each other in the standings, but 2 teams that are trying to solidify themselves in the playoff race. Max Fried for the Braves. Last 4 here that he's been in form here for in health for. Last one out, 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 Ks. So a lot better last time out. The few before that, still a little shaky. Still getting himself back in form is what I was trying to say there. Bailey Ober, on the other hand, for the Twins, pretty solid most of this season, actually. Has not had too many blow-ups, certainly not in a while, at least. Last time out, 4 hits, 3 earned runs with a bomb, no walks, and 5 Ks against the Padres over 6 innings here. So pretty steady for both these guys right now. Minnesota -125, another one that has gone up from right around -110, I do believe, at open. Any love for the Twins at home tonight, or is this kind of a tough one to crack?
Tough one to crack. I can see either side. Both team totals 3.5 juiced over. Braves -25 cents. Minnesota 35 cents. An under/over of 7.5 overnight. Now pushed to 8. I'm going to do something I usually don't do, which probably means it'll be 4-4 after 1 or 2. But I like the under 8 here. How's that sound?
Okay, I could get behind that one. Not really any home run props sticking out to me either, so that kind of helps the old the under 8 there. Only one Marcell Ozuna +290. Other than that, nobody else is even close to that significant there. So Marcell Ozuna 290.
I like that. I mean, obviously, if someone's going to hit one there, what about Olsen?
Matt Olsen. I got myself backed out. Yeah, I don't think anyone else was anywhere near that 290 number. Matt Olsen 450.
And Rolls Royce, is he playing or is he still hurt?
Royce Lewis, we're talking about.
Yeah.
He's in the 2-hole at DH for the Twins tonight. 650 +650 for him.
Well, there's my caveat. There's my cherry on top. Mr. Rolls Royce Lewis himself. +650.
Right. There you go, my friend. That is a good game. That is a good series. Padres and Cardinals. Padres obviously still looking pretty darn good right now. Split with the Mets over a 4-game series in a big one there. Cardinals take 2 out of 3 from the Twins in Minnesota. They are still kind of lurking around, but obviously got to get something going here. This would be a massive one if they could win a series here against the Padres team that they are technically chasing, but obviously they've got their sights a little bit more closer to that Atlanta spot, but nonetheless a team in that wild card spot. Padres and Cardinals tonight. Randy Vasquez for the Padres, has been a little hit or miss, kind of all over the place. Kyle Gibson for the Cardinals, another guy that's been kind of hit or miss last time out, though. 7 hits, 2 runs allowed, 2 walks, 5 Ks. The last time before that, 7 hits, 6 runs allowed. So again, has been pretty hit or miss here. Yet the Cardinals minus 120. Are we respecting this Cardinals team as a home favorite here against this? I don't want to say red hot Padres team. Obviously, still playing pretty darn solid baseball though.
Well, no one's hotter again than the Diamondbacks. The Red Sox are so glad to see them leave. And I said this earlier this morning. I'll say it again, that the Dodgers and Phillies are sure damn glad that the playoffs start October 1st and 2nd, not September 1st and 2nd, because I wouldn't want to get in front of either one of these teams. Padres, home. They tend to not score. Just put them on the road, and then they wake up. They get out of that Petco Park, and I expect some runs to be scored here. I actually lean to the Padres side, but I got, again, truthfully, I think their team total 4.5 at plus 100 over is the way to go here. I think they get to 5 or better. Again, I expect some runs on both sides. It was an over a 9.5 overnight, now down to 9. I think this will hit double digits, and I lean the Padres side, but I like the Padres to get to 5 or better tonight.
I like it. I mean, it's hard to deny. In this Cardinals team, you just need to see them put a few more together to really start believing in them. Everything that we've seen from them this season, after a nice weekend or week and a half or so here, every point of the season they've kind of slid back into that lose 2 out of 3 situation there. So they got to get themselves going there. 5 behind the Braves for that last wild card spot, obviously, and quite a bit further than that in their own division there. 10 games out. So Brewers have that one just about wrapped up there, barring anything crazy. But anyways, any other games here, my friend? We talked about a lot of these games. Any other games here that you would like to talk about? There's 3 or 4 that we did not mention here on this show.
Going back to that Padres game, 2 things. Arias over 1.5 total bases. I like that tonight. And I'll go with Manny Machado for a homer.
Let's see. Manny. 450, plus 450.
So a little meat on that bone. Not a go number, but I like that one there. Games, any other games to look at? Here's the comical. I haven't seen this one in a while. Marlins travel to Colorado. Colorado favorite, first of all. 10.5 under over. But both team totals 5.5 juiced under minus 135. So very simply, someone's going to get a touchdown tonight. And who will it be? That's the miracle question there. Cabrera versus Feltner there. So one of those teams gets a touchdown. Good luck, flip a coin there. Yankees and Washington, Cortez versus Parker. Real easy to run to the window play. Yankees. First 5 minus a half run. Yankees full game minus 1.5 there. They're minus 180. The line hasn't moved. Just be careful on this one. Wouldn't be shocked to see Yankees do win the game, but by 1 run. Wouldn't be shocked to see this game tied at the end of 5 there. So just buyer beware on this one. This Washington team has been hanging around. They show some flashes. They can score some runs. They remind me of the Oakland A's. When they're hitting, they put up some crooked numbers. So just be careful and tie in your whole Monday bankroll up on the Yankees tonight.
That is a fact, my friend. It is. It seems like it could be a little bit of a weird Monday here. I don't know about you. There's a couple of weird spots there. So interested to see how that goes. I know you've got some, obviously for the ECSI VIPs, got some good picks coming their way. But other than that, my friend, I don't have too much else unless you'd like to get to closing thoughts. All I've got is we got through our week 0 of college football. I feel like every single year with college football and NFL, want to make sure everyone knows not to blow everything. Wager everything you've got in the first week, 2 weeks of the season. It is a marathon, my friends. But I will be coming at some point. We got to get determined still, but at some point with a Big Ten breakdown for the week. We've got obviously a few clunkers and some nobody cares games, but a couple ones worth talking about. You got a nice one Thursday night. On Sunday, it's weird to say that they're a Big Ten team, but USC, LSU to kind of close out the college football weekend on Sunday evening. That'll be a good one there, and then a few random solid ones throughout the weekend, my friend. So I will be ready to rock and roll.
We can't wait. We'll figure out a time and a date for the Big Ten, obviously, college preview. Go
And
ahead.
I get to preview my Illinois State Redbirds, my alumni, on the road at Iowa. So I get a little extra treat for myself there. Hopefully, it is a little more of a treat at the game itself than a 22.5 point loss there. But rare that I get to talk about my Redbirds on our shows, my friend.
Well, I know I won a few games. I sent them out to you last year in the basketball. I've
Yeah.
never.
Basketball is a little different, yeah.
Yeah, we pick and choose when to dive into the MAC and some college football there as well. So exciting times here. The last full week of August until Sunday, we turn the page. We got college week 1 all through the rest of this week. We'll be talking it up. Top of my head, tomorrow night, myself and Riley will be back, obviously, at 5 o'clock for the closing bell. Scotty will have the night off. I think he's coming live here in about 1/2 hour. Wednesday, the UFC, excuse me, PGA, East Lake. This is it. The final week, the FedEx Cup will be hoisted. $25 million to the winner. Good Lord, have mercy. Thursday, UFC is off. Lou gets the week off, but in comes Ron from Ron A Sports, Ron Marmolevsky, bringing us that West Coast flavor, some college and NFL analytics like no one else. Friday, we'll be back with the NCAA Insiders, talking some college football. Matt will be back home in Arkansas, Texas, talking with Quentin Mills will be back as well, and then we'll be talking the Pacific Coast Classic horse racing with Mr. Sean Alvarez. So a lot here coming throughout the week. Everyone, just remember, embrace the madness. It was our first losing week in a while, and timing's everything. We were on a 33 12-2 run, and so plus 21 games over 500 and about plus 25 26 units. So we came to a screeching halt this past week. Get back on the horse today. We got 3 games out there. We're excited for it. So Scotty Webby 20 Webby 20 MLB on Twitter. Go follow him. He'll be here at 6:15 in the batter's box. And we'll be back tomorrow morning. So for myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Investor, the one and only, Riley Magnuson at Riley_Magnuson, the one. We wish everyone a blessed Monday. We want to thank WagerWire, thank Viva Tequila Seltzer, and of course our new sponsor, Atlanta Steaks and Seafood, Mr. Terry Smith himself. See you soon, people.